Yeah, I mean, obviously, it would be good just to chat about your journey as a player from an amateur, how you began, and then how you ended up to where you are now as a professional player, young, talented professional player in your journey. So it'd be good just to, I mean, I know bits and pieces, but it'd be good just to anyone who's listening, just to give a background of how you very first started in snooker. How did how did it come about, and how did you realise then that you had some talent and started to take it a bit more serious?
I were on holiday, and there were a pool table next to our room where we were staying. And I saw the table, I wanted to have a go. So my dad just showed me how to make the bridge hand. Played there for 2 or 3 days. Got back to England. Went to my local snooker club and loved it. Loved potting balls. Yeah. That's it, really.
And how old were you then? Sorry.
I were 9, I think, 9 or 10.
Yeah. So a bit later maybe than some. Some obviously started a bit younger, don't they, with the tables in the house.
Mm.
And did you?
Sorry, go on.
No, I was going to say. So when you came back, were you playing pool, or was it straight onto a snooker table?
It were a bit of both at start. Obviously the snooker table were very big. So I was still playing a bit of pool for a bit of fun, but like I enjoyed snooker a lot more. Yeah.
And then at what age do you start thinking, I'm actually really quite good at this?
I think about 12, 13, like when I started winning junior competitions, doing well, my breaks were getting bigger, and I was still enjoying it. So yeah, probably about 12 or 13.
Yeah. And when did you make your first sort of century break and think like, actually, that's decent?
I think I was 12. It were against Daniel, actually. I remember it were 107 break. Yeah, I was 12-year-old, so good.
Yeah. Had you been like sort of flirting around it, or did that just come out of the blue? Were you sort of in the 80s, 90s, like on the verge of doing it, or did it just sort of come out the blue one day? Like,
yeah, I think I was making like 40, 50 breaks like quite regular. But I think my highest break like before that were 93, something like that, yeah. 92, and then I got the ton. So yeah, we're buzzing.
And when did you make your first maximum then?
In a game, I was 18. Playing Mark Joyce in a practice session at Landywood.
Yeah.
Even for long red, left it over pocket, and I just somehow made the 147. But yeah, I've only ever had one. I just sort of, yeah.
Is that like a conscious thing? Is it just something that's not like on your mind? Is it just like get the 3 and 1, and then you're not particularly sort of bothered about that?
Yeah. I just never go for them. I don't know what it is. You get players that get them a lot. Go from like Bingham or like Liam Pullen, another young player. He's made loads. But yeah, I've only ever made one, so I need to improve a bit.
Well, you say need to improve. I mean, it's one of those things, isn't it? Like once the frame's won, it's won. So I think there's a big difference in like a maximum break, but if you can consistently knocking in 50s, 60s, 70s frame winning one visit frames, that's like what all the top players do, isn't it? You know, making those difficult breaks, coming into a horrible table, jumping on, making that difficult 50, 60, 70 and getting the frame one or 147's nice, isn't it? It's good, but it's not the be all and end all.
Yeah, I'd rather make like regular 70 breaks than make a max and lose. So yeah, it's just about winning the frame, innit?
And is that something you keep an eye on as a player? Because it's something I ask a lot of players around, like statistics and looking at things. Do you keep a track of like your results and the breaks that you've made and look at improvement or like over the course of your career, or look at where can you improve?
Yeah, but my scoring's like generally all right.
Yeah.
I mean, if I'm scoring, I'm normally winning, so that's not the problem. It's normally my safety what lets me down, or like the tactical side of it. But I'm still young. I need to learn all that side of it, like with the experience. But yeah, my scoring's generally all right, so I'm never really worried about it.
Yeah, it's funny you say that. I was chatting to Noel a couple of days ago and saying I think that's a thing for a lot of young players that can score, but you're coming up against players who've like been around the block for a number of years, and the safety game is excellent, and they know the angles, they know how to put people into trouble, make things scrappy, and you can only score if the ball's there. And I think that's like a lot of players, because I think our conversation started around like what's the prime age for a snooker player, because I think ordinarily like you look at you compare it with other sports and think, well, players must be coming into the prime, early 20s, late teens, like sort of around your age. But in actual fact, snooker in recent years seems as if it's more players in the 30s are starting to win for the first time, and then are coming into the prime more mid to late 30s, and they're able to continue that on, which is different to other sports. So that's certainly what I've seen. I don't know if that's what you see, but that was one of the main reasons I attribute was like the safety side of it. Was how, like players need to learn that, and it takes a long period of time to develop that aspect of the game.
Yeah, definitely. Like the standard now is joke. Like at any age, to be honest, if whoever's on tour can play. But yeah, it's definitely like say Elliot's Less, for example. He's playing at his best at the minute. He's what 30, 28, I don't know. It's just learning experience, like you say. If you play an older player, they know the angles, they know how to put you in trouble. But yeah, it's a difficult game, and I think everyone's still learning, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, Elliot's a very good example, and sometimes it's just subtle things, isn't it, with players like Elliot's game hasn't really changed that much. Sometimes it might just be a little bit more belief, but you're seeing like Zhang Anda in the last couple of years, he's been around for a long period of time, and then all of a sudden becomes this real top player, and people's like, it's come out of the blue, but he's always been able to pop balls. Like sometimes it's weird how players mature. It's a different sport. You can't compare it to other sports.
Yeah, I played Zhang Anda in World Championship. I think it was 2023. I played him in second round when he was like number 60 in world. He beat me 10-3, and he had 9 breaks over 70, including like 3 or 4 tons. He just didn't miss. But that just shows the level, doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. It's. I think for more, I've been involved and played like many sports. Like my background was football. I played a lot of golf, not snooker until a little bit older. But my belief is like there isn't a sport harder than snooker in many aspects mentally, but from a technical aspect, it can make you look silly no matter what level you play at. You can be a top pro and then not practice for a few days, or go in and struggle to make a 50 break. And it's such a difficult game. So in terms of your next steps, obviously you got to that age. At what point did you sort of commit and think, right, I want to try and become a professional?
Probably 13, 14. I won my first prime when I was 14. I'd entered Q school from being 13 to 15. Didn't really do any good, but at that point it was just about learning. And then I turned pro at 16, so I knew from like 13 I wanted it to be my career. I just love playing and winning and competing. So yeah.
And was it winning the world thing that got you on the tour?
Yeah, the World Juniors. Yeah. In Australia.
And who did you play in the final of that?
I played Liam Pullen in the final.
What was the score?
I won 5-1. It was just like such a nervy game. Not many breaks, to be honest. We just both like really wanted to win. Obviously, been rivals growing up. It had to be us two in the final. But yeah, I just managed to pop my balls on the day. Yeah.
And what was the feeling like when you found out you were going to be a professional snooker player?
I don't know. I don't know. I was buzzing, obviously, like happy for me and my dad, because that's like what we've gone around the country and the world for since I was like 10, 11. Like sort of one of my dreams achieved, and then hoping to push on from there. So which I've done.
And has there been any sort of challenges along the way for you?
Yeah, I got the yips when I was 15. I was in Q school, and I was practicing. I just couldn't get down on shot. But I was trying to step in, and then I was standing back up. I just couldn't move down in the shot. It were a nightmare, to be honest. I thought, like, if I don't get over this, it's done. Like, it's a waste of time. But like with a load of help and like mental coaching and playing more players under pressure just helped me a lot.
Yeah, it's interesting. Had there been any like previous sort of indications that was there, or did that just come out the blue one day?
It came out of nowhere, really. It was strange. I don't know how it happened, to be honest, but yeah, nightmare.
So how like I'm really curious with these things. I mean, obviously, like I've worked with Kyren Wilson for a good number of years now, and he feels like he's got the yips and has done for that sort of couple of seasons or so. And it really intrigues me, and I ask a lot of questions because I just, for me, it's like, how does that feel?
Mm-hmm.
How did it sort of feel for you on that shot, not being able to get down? Like, how are you feeling sort of physically, from a mindset point of view? What was going through your mind?
It was just embarrassing, to be honest. Like, there's people watching because obviously they knew like our up and coming, our talent, and like I can't get down on shot. Once I got down on the shot, it was absolutely fine. It was nothing to do with my cueing. It was just moving into the shot. But yeah, it was more embarrassing than I'd say.
Yeah. So was it like a physical thing as well? Like were you like your muscles tense? Like was it? How could you not get down? I suppose what I'm asking.
It was just a mental thing. I didn't feel tense at all. I just couldn't move into the shot. Yeah, it was just weird. It was strange.
Yeah. And do you think sort of was there like any anxiety or anything there? Was there like anything else that accompanied that?
Oh, definitely. It was like the fear of missing, fear of the future. Like if I miss this shot, what's going to happen? I was just like I was too scared to play a shot. That was the root cause of it. Yeah, that's it on that really.
So did you so it was like obviously like a fear there, and that was sort of on your mind when you were down the shot?
No, once I was down, it was fine. But sometimes I get
obviously before.
Sorry.
It was like just before, obviously, and getting down to the shot, like you were.
Yeah, but sometimes I get down and then I'd be down on the shot and think, oh, I'm not right, so I get back up, and then that'd be another like 2 or 3 times up and down. It was just a nightmare. It was horrible to be honest.
And I'm guessing that fed into the anxiety every time you sort of got back up.
It got worse every time. And the minute I were under any pressure, like if I had to pot a ball or it were a decider or it were a nightmare. I think there's a clip of me in Q school, and I had to clear up to go 3-2-1 up. I can't remember. And it took me over a minute to get down for one shot. I just couldn't get down on the shot. It was weird, but yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it must have been terrifying from when you've had all that, like you want to be a pro, you get in there, you've got the ability, and then all of a sudden out of the blue, this happens. It must have been like a really terrifying moment where you're just lost and thinking, what's going on here?
Yeah, because I've gone from like a kid that just loved playing, flying round table, potting balls, like enjoying it, and then to that where I wasn't enjoying it. But then we got in touch with Noel Flannery, and he helped me so much. Like, obviously, I still had to do it myself. Still had to go out there and put it into story. I still had to go out there and pot the balls and do it. But the stuff what Noel gave me to do and like help me with routines and just like positive stuff, it helped me so much.
Yeah, I mean, obviously Noel's like a really good friend of mine. I'm business partner as well, and he's a great bloke. I mean, what I mean, you don't have to answer if you don't sort of want to. I mean, I'm not going to ask specifically what was said. I mean, you've mentioned there about certain drills, but is there anything he sort of helped you implement aside from that to help you overcome it, like conversations and like sort of putting plans in place?
Yeah, like most of the conversations were just like because I would feel like I said earlier, I'm a bit embarrassed about it. But he just said like, you're not doing it wrong. You're not doing that on purpose. Like, you can't help it, so you're not doing it wrong. Just like be nice to yourself, understand what's going on, and yeah, don't be horrible to yourself, basically.
Yeah, and so you were doing drills and stuff, and was anything else? I mean, did he give you sort of any other techniques that you could implement whilst you was on the table? Like, if you were to get those feelings when you're in around the table, was anything like you had in place to be able to counteract that?
No, I can't fully remember, but that's the main thing I remember, that I'm not doing out wrong. and that helped me. Like I'm down on the shot I'm trying to get down on the shot under pressure, and it's just like you're not doing this on purpose. Like just be nice to yourself, sort of thing. And then I like relaxed a bit more. He just kept saying like it doesn't mean that much. It's a game of snooker. What's the worst that can happen? You lose. That helped as well, and that's what it is really. So yeah.
And do you still use those things now? Do you still get like flare-ups of this? Is it still a problem now, or is that just completely gone?
No, it's completely gone now. There's the odd time where like I get down and then think, oh, you're not right, but it's because I definitely don't feel right. It's not like fear of missing or whatever. But yeah, I think I'm all right with it now.
Yeah. And if it was to come back, would you feel sort of confident because of the work you've done, just to be able to say, right, I can deal with this?
Yeah, I think so. I just use the same techniques what I used before, but I don't think it will come back. Because I'm just a lot more confident in my game. It's not meaning as much to me now, which is good. And I am enjoying playing. So.
Yeah, and I mean, I suppose it's a difficult one to say, because I think every player, although it might manifest in the manner of the yips or not being able to get down the shot, every player, every level will have some form of anxiety. That's something that we can all relate to. Doesn't matter if you're Ronnie O'Sullivan or somebody playing in a local pub competition, everybody's going to get that anxiety at some point. What would be maybe one bit of advice you would give them if somebody's really struggling with nerves and anxiety, where they couldn't, perform to the level that they want to do?
I'd just say try not to make it mean as much as it does, because that's why you're feeling nervous, thinking about winning, losing, missing. Like that, you shouldn't even be entering your head. Really, you should just be enjoying playing. But yeah, like if anything does go wrong like that, I can't recommend Noel enough. Like he helped me so much.
Yeah, fantastic. I think that is great advice. I mean, it's something that even from a personal level, like Noel often over the years has said to me, and I see it to other people, especially like young lads in the club, and they might ask for advice or whatever else, and I always say, like, it doesn't really mean that much, does it? Like it's a game. I understand sort of, like at your level, or if people have bills to pay and they're struggling financially, I realise that's a real big genuine concern. That's a difficult one to manage, but that's more off the table stuff. But aside from that, missing balls for the sake of winning a game, it's a game, isn't it? And it's something like everybody encounters, but beating yourself up about it or worrying what other people think's a dangerous game, isn't it? To start getting involved in from a mindset perspective.
Yeah, definitely. Like you got to remember as well why you started playing. Like anyone who plays snooker started playing unless they were forced to do it because they enjoyed it. They enjoyed potting balls. They were having fun, having a laugh, and then all of a sudden it goes serious, and you've just got to try and keep it fun. Not messing about, obviously, but keep it fun, keep it interesting. And just keep enjoying playing, because once the enjoyment goes, you might as well just like sell your cue, because it's a waste of time then.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's another thing. I mean, we certainly preach that at Q Sport Hub, and I know Noel's a huge advocate of that, is doing exactly what you've just said there. It's about enjoyment, because I think you're so right, and it's the same with not just snooker, but any sport or any real like skill, drawing, painting, singing, playing an instrument, mastering that skill. The fundamental when you go backward is enjoyment, isn't it? That's what we do it for, the love of being able to do that, and gradually over time that's lost. Or for some people it is, and trying to recapture that is that key, isn't it? Because if you're so excited going into practice or going into games or learning new things, that's like obviously something that's going to keep you in good stead. Is there anything you do on that note? Obviously, you're saying there keeping it exciting and enjoying it. Is there anything that you do in particular if you get a bit bogged down and you feel like you're not maybe enjoying practice as much or playing? Is anything you do?
It depends. Sometimes, like when I'm not enjoying practice, I'll just put my cue away and go home and just like say fresh start tomorrow. or I'll carry on playing. It's hardest when you're struggling. You feel like your queuing's out and all that. That's when it's hard. But yeah, that's it really. And just to remind myself, like you start playing it because you enjoyed it. It's now your job. There's a lot worse jobs in the world, and you're good at it, and you're winning. So like, just try and stay positive.
Yeah, and that's a great attitude to have, because I think that's the main thing. Everybody's going to have tough times. Every player's going to have tough times, but it's how you can overcome them and just and enjoy the game. Because if you're enjoying it, you're going to want to practice more. If you're practicing more, you're going to be playing better. And if you're not as bothered about the outcome, then you're going to perform better as well. And it's the more pressure you put on yourself, the more difficult it's going to be, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. I know.
So you obviously the next part is you became a pro. And is it your third year now?
Yeah, it's my third year. Yeah.
Yeah. So how you found the first 3 years of being a pro?
First year were an absolute nightmare. That's still at a point when I had the yips that I couldn't get down on shot. I had some decent results, but it wasn't anything special. And then the second season, I don't know what happened. I just turned the corner and just started winning out of nowhere. Just felt a lot more confident, enjoying playing, and then it's led on into this season. So
yeah, and you've started this season well, would you say?
Yeah,
some good results.
Yeah, I think I'm improving. China, the Wuhan Open were obviously the start of that. I beat Ding, Zhou Yulong, and then Hawkins 5-0. That's probably the best win I've had. Lost out to Gudong in the quarters. He went on to win it, but yeah, just making improvements all the time.
And what would you say has been your best sort of win so far on the tour?
I've had a few. I'd say Barry Hawkins was my best one. I beat him 5-0 and he didn't pot a ball for the last 4 frames. That's got to be up there. I beat Kyren Wilson earlier this season. That were a good win. Beating Ding in China were good in front of his home crowd.
Yeah.
And they're the wins that give you confidence, like you know you can beat the top players. Ali Carter as well, I beat him a couple of times. So yeah, I'm just showing all the time that I'm improving and that I can beat the top players.
Yeah, absolutely. And do you watch much snooker when you're not playing?
Yeah, I watch it all the time. Yeah, I love watching snooker.
Yeah, so you're like a big fan of it as well. Because I know some players you speak to are like, no, don't watch it. I know some who say they don't, but absolutely do watch it. They don't want to admit it. But you sort of
the start of this week, I were like excited for it to start. Oh, I can't wait to watch that on Sunday. Yeah, I watch it all the time on YouTube, old matches, like my matches, what I've won or lost. Just, yeah.
So do you know when you're watching sort of other players and stuff, do you take notes, whether that be physical or like sort of mental notes, and look at shots that they play or how they play and think, actually I could, replicate that, or I like how they play that, or that's a particular weakness in someone's game?
Yeah, everything you've just said, really. Like obviously every player prefers to play a different shot, like a different way, just see the way they do it. And I just sit and watch and think, like, what would I play there? And if play a different shot, like think why and all that. But yeah, I just love watching snooker.
Yeah. And do you know if you've got like a game coming up, do you watch like your opponent if you can, who you'll be playing next, and sort of look at how they're playing, or see if there's anything you can spot where you could take advantage of?
No, not really. No.
Yeah.
Never really.
Yeah, it's mad. I mean, I find myself doing, not that I'm any good, but I find myself doing that with certain players. I'll be looking and thinking, watched him play, I'll be leaving him long balls for fun because he's putting nothing at the minute. I mean, like, think that it's an easy way to get in here because he's putting like 1 out of 5, 1 out of 6. I wouldn't be afraid to be leaving him like long pots, or he's not doing this, or he's got his temperaments a bit there, so I'll be tying him up and just irritating him. Like, those are things like I would be like thinking of, or do think of, if I was playing. So it's interesting. So in terms of like your plans now, where do you sort of see your ceiling at as a player? What's your goals as a player in the coming years? Where do you think you can be, and where do you want to be?
Well, my goal for this season was to be top 32 and get to semis of a tournament. I've nearly been to semis of a tournament. I don't think I'm going to be top 32. I'm provisionally 43, which like it's not bad, is it, after 3 seasons? But
No,
always looking to improve, and I want to start winning tournaments. I know that's like a big statement, but I believe I can do it. So yeah, that's my goal: win tournaments, go fly up the rankings, and yeah, see what happens from there.
yeah, and like you said, I mean, you obviously it's like I think on the official it's 50. What you're saying is it 43 now? Like provisionally, I mean that's still a big achievement. I mean, are you 19 now?
19, yeah.
Yeah, after 3 years on the tour, because a lot of players will go on to the tour and fall off the tour at that age, and then have to battle to get back on. So to be in the rankings there, because when you look actually at the names underneath and the names throughout, the strength of those players is absolutely phenomenal. Like you get into the sort of 20s, 30s, 40 rankings, and there's a lot of ranking event winners or former top 16, and like there's a lot of very good players there. So to be at that level and comfortably must be like a proud feeling.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, like the top. Like you look at the end of season rankings. I think Jordan Brown's number 64, Milkins is 66. Like these are tournament winners, and then they're looking at falling off tour. Like scary. The standard now is a joke.
Yeah, I mean Luca Purcell's another one. There's been a few over the last few years where players fall off, and if you're not on the ball as much, like you're gonna struggle. You're gonna struggle, and especially if you've won and you don't then back that up, isn't it? I mean, that's the difficulty with the snooker rankings, isn't it? If you have a good season or two, I mean, I know that's something Gary's concerned of now. Like 2 years down the line, you're going to have points coming off from 2 years ago if you've won something, and if you've not been consistently winning or getting the quarter semis, then you're going to find yourself potentially with a big drop. Yeah.
So yeah, I think that's where Luke struggled in it. He won the worlds for 500,000, then didn't do anything for like 2 years, and that's why he's down at 50 odd in the world. It's brutal in it, but that's just the way it is, and you gotta back it up.
Yeah, well, that's it. You've got to back it up, and you've got to be consistent, and you've got to put the work in. I mean, what is on about putting the work in? What's your sort of normal? I know there'll not be a normal like practice week because obviously there'll be events, qualifiers, but in terms of like a general consensus across your practice weeks, what does a normal practice week look like? How often do you practice? How many days do you play other people? Like, how does your practice look like?
I'm probably playing about 6 days a week. If I'm playing somebody like today, I'll play for 6 or 7 hours. But if I'm on my own, 4 hours is enough for me. Just go through my routines, what I need to work on, and then I'm done really. Yeah. But if like I'm not playing as many practice matches now. I prefer doing solo, and then I feel sharper in matches. So today playing Daniel's like an off day, but yeah, I prefer solo.
Yeah. And is that just because you're getting more time on the table, potting balls, working on what you need to work on?
Yeah, I just work on my technique, different routines, like playing for like blue, black, working, just trying to learn really. And if my cueing's good and my game's in good shape, like in my solo, I know that when I go to a match, I'll be on it. So practice matches aren't really that important for me. I might change my mind in the future, but for now, that's what I'm enjoying doing. So
yeah, I think I don't think you'll ever have a set way, and I think that's probably the right way. Is you'll find that there'll be spells where you think actually work on myself, and other ones where you think I want to see where I'm at against somebody else, and that'll probably chop and change depending upon the situation. And there's no real, I don't think, any right or wrong answer to that. It's just how you feel and go with that, and what you're happy. In terms of like you say, like on a normal day you're going for 4 hours solo. Like, what sort of things do you work on? I know some players have like set days, so they'll be like, today is a safety day, today is like maybe a break building day. Do you have set days, or do you go in and do set drills?
I just do the same thing most days, really. Like the same routine. Start off with a tee, few lineups, the X routine, just routines like that, like playing for ball colours off reds, near pink, traveling, just trying to learn all the shots, really.
And do you do like much safety practice? Because I know obviously that's quite difficult, isn't it? Like, how does the safety practice work? Because I know you obviously you're saying you need to, or it's not need to, but it's an area you want to improve on. How do you practice that?
I don't practice safety. I just, yeah, I think it's just as long as you know the lines in safety, like all the angles, like clipping off balls, and then the rest takes care of itself. It's more the tactical side where I struggle. I think there's a difference in tactical side and the safety side. But yeah, I don't really practice safety.
So it's interesting. So you say then on the tactical side, how does that look like specifically? Do you mean like shot selection and playing the right shot at the right time?
Probably that, yeah. I think I view safety as like coming off the pack and getting behind the yellow or something. That's a safety to me. Whereas tactical is more like when it goes really scrappy and you've got to know where to put balls, what red to get out, all that stuff.
Tying balls up, like thinking ahead and stuff.
Yeah.
And how do you think you're going to improve that?
I don't know. Just time. Watching other players that are good at it. Your Selbys, your Williams, players like that, and trying to learn.
Fantastic. And I suppose one final sort of element I want to touch upon, because I know when you got onto the tour, you were on a bit of a fitness journey, didn't you? And was it going to the gym and you had that in the routine? Is that something that you still do?
Yeah, I mean, I were fat in my first season, little kid, puppy fat. But then I started to get a bit taller in my second season, started eating better. Bit of exercise, but not too much. Yeah, just mainly eating better, to be honest. And then the weight just dropped. I'm still on it now. Not as brutal as I was. I were a bit too skinny, but yeah, I'm still trying to eat good, be healthy, and yeah, that definitely helped me snooker. Definitely.
So you're still going to the gym and stuff now? Is that part of like your routine?
No, I never went to gym. We just like the odd walk,
sort of diet and stuff.
Yeah, but I'm not doing any exercise now. I'm just trying to eat good. So
yeah, and in terms of like performance wise, because that's something that I'm really quite big on. A lot of players not eating before events and everything else. Is that something that you look at as well in terms of your performance? You make sure like nutritionally that you're sort of bang on in terms of eating before, during, having snacks, hydration. Is that something that you focus on?
Yeah, like if I've got a game at say 2:00, I'll try have a meal at 12, and then get something for the interval or just before, like a banana or something, some fruit. So yeah, that sort of stuff.
Yeah, fantastic. Well, Stan, it's been great chatting. I really appreciate the time. There's lots of, I think, bits in there that people will learn a lot from. And, you know, for me and Noel, I'm sure, like, wish you all the best for the rest of the season. And yeah, thanks for your time.
No, thanks for having me. I enjoyed it. Cheers, pal.
Cheers.